All right, YouTube, Truth Man here. So a lot of Anton Daniels nut huggers, bag chasers, supporters, whatever you want to call them, been trying to come for me over some videos that I made about Anton Daniels. Now, we finna find out where y'all stand. We all know in the United States that blacks are at the bottom, that most racists don't like us and think they're better than us. We all know this. But now we have a new crop of house ninja that's raising up. The Anton Daniels, them type. But people been taking up for him. So we're going to do a rewind today. And I'm going to show you why when you take up for Anton Daniels, you endorse white supremacy. Let's roll.
The culture, we sort of lost the culture.
Yeah, because the lesson of World War II, based on the horrors of the Holocaust, is like, this is what happens when nationalism goes awry. This is what happens when nationalism goes awry.
But your argument was the Holocaust was not special in all countries.
Got to pause for copyright purposes.
Countries have done that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so you're saying, why is the Holocaust special?
Yeah, basically.
Oh. What do you mean, basically?
Well, yeah, I mean, because of course,
Pay attention to what Just Pearly Thing says. I'm going to go to some videos where Anton Daniels took up for Just Pearly Things in this manosphere. He really shouldn't be nobody really shouldn't be watching him after he did that. But it just shows how, a lot of black people are bred to go against other blacks. And sometimes we do need to. But it's like y'all brain is working in reverse. Y'all go against the ones you shouldn't go against, and then the ones you should go against, you don't.
Well, we're getting into the details of it, but yeah, that's the gist.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of deny it happened.
Yeah, I deny some of the parts of it.
You deny parts of it, don't.
If you don't know who this is Nick Fuentes. This is Nick Fuentes, and he is a white supremacist.
Don't seem realistic to you. You
Right.
think they were embellished upon
I think they're embellished, yeah.
the same way. This sounds, oh gosh.
Oh boy.
They're gonna be
They
in
get
trouble.
yourself
This sounds similar to the slavery stuff too, because that's literally the founder or the guy who made Brute said, I wanted a myth for my people to live by. So they often, but that's what they do. Is the culture. We sort of lost the culture.
Yeah, because the lesson of World War II, based on.
So she tried to edit it out, but she said that slavery was embellished. And she tried to mention the movie Roots. Now, the movie Roots was kind of plagiarized. But if you know how to dig into history, you know that slavery wasn't embellished. In fact, it was worser. In some ways, it was worser than they say. In some ways, it was different. Like, as far as the Underground Railroad, this, that. But to make a long story short, if you know the history of what happened during slavery, you know that deals were being made and then weapons were being made, and those weapons were used to force free labor on our ancestors. But these two were saying that the Holocaust and slavery was embellished. And she even said, if I remember, I'm going to go to another video where she says she likes Nick. If you like Nick, that means that you endorse Nick. And if you endorse Nick, that means that you endorse white supremacy. So if Just Pearly Things endorses white supremacy and Anton Daniels endorses her, then don't take a rocket scientist. Ain't he endorsing white supremacy? Let's go to it. Let's go to Anton. Let's go to some of the things that he was saying when all of this was going on. I wouldn't be surprised if he deleted some of these videos. I would be surprised. So y'all think y'all coming against me? Y'all think y'all really doing something by coming against me? Let me show you who you're taking up for. I'm finna show you. We got time. I got me a good nap in. We got time. And then one dude want to bring up my car. What the hell did my car got to do with what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm talking about. So a person can be every evil thing if they got a nice car. And I could get another car. But that's how childish and superficial and uninformed a lot of us who have this skin color but don't live the skin color. You have the skin color, but you don't live the skin color. You live white supremacy. You like those, y'all remember Brother Future Zeke? There's many Zekes going around terrorizing their own communities, coming on YouTube with I call them faceless warriors, talking all this hot stuff, hot, sizzling hot, that they wouldn't say by themselves to me and just you. The majority of them would not say this. So let me get to it. And they talk about, I'm a clout chaser. This is the clout chaser. He waited till Kevin Samuels was dead and tried to throw him under the bus, as if Kevin Samuels wasn't qualified for to talk about relationships.
Hi, Jumpy.
We're gonna go to a little of this. We're gonna go to some other stuff.
Without the ones like you working tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. No matter your...
What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys continuing to rock with me. We got a special...
Yeah, he's so cool. He's so down with...
I think that it would be good for you guys to be educated about a lot more than what it is that you think things are. But it's an opportunity for you guys. Usually this is actually something that I only do for the bag chasers, right?
Copyright purposes.
Sorry about that. But I think that it's good for you guys to be educated, because usually I would only do this for the bag chasers. So link is in the Patreon, as well as pinned to the top of the chat for y'all to be able to join the Patreon.
And look how he got his hat. He wasn't down with the Vice Lords. Man, he wouldn't dare. I guarantee you he wouldn't go through Detroit. Which side they on? Well, I don't really know about Detroit, but I know that that's how Vice Lords were they had. And this, man, come on, man. And I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying, like, it's too many people playing on the urbanism in our neighborhoods that don't even like the people that they trying to be like.
But specifically, you know, it's always a lot of speculation about a lot of things. I see it happening across the internet and things like that. So instead of this being one of those situations where it continues to get messy, specifically, I want to just get down to the nitty gritty of what contracts look like on YouTube. I am a person that specifically does. I hire people, right? I do that.
Let's skip through it. Because he...
To a contract, if that makes sense. So, like, a lot of people don't understand, like,
If you don't know what they talking about, but this woman right here is a racist. She's racist. She don't think we should get reparations. Anton don't either. Don't think we should get reparations. This is his friend, y'all. Ain't no racist white person ever gonna be my friend. If I'm friends with a white person, you best believe that they ain't racist. None of the people, none of the whites that I'm cool with even show a pinch of racism. If they are, it's well hidden. But I don't want to hear about that contracts. That had to do with Sarah Garvey, who came out and exposed Perot when this was going on as well.
Our like producer full time, and we just promoted him, so now he manages. So
wait, let's go to something else, man. Classic beating around the bush. Let's see which one. So many. Man, did he erase them? Did he delete those videos? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to something else first. I told y'all, keep on taking up for him. I'm gonna make you look. I'm gonna make you look dumb. I'm gonna make you look off. The more y'all take up for him, the more I'm gonna make you look like a dumb goofy. See that? Wait, hold on. Wait, why didn't it? Hold on. It went off of there. Hold on a second. Stick to the topics. This channel ain't for dumb people. Stick to the topics. Cars, all that stuff, that don't got nothing to do with the topics at hand.
About time me and you was introduced.
Watch this. I'm gonna show y'all something.
Keep your head held high, just like Mom taught us.
Time for you to see the world.
The Color Purple, now streaming exclusively on Max.
Go ahead. You deserve it.
A lot of men, it's not even so much the women. Shout out to my dog DDS. It's not even so much the women, but a lot of men has become incredibly feminine nowadays. I swear to God.
Oh my goodness, this dude. Didn't he just interview Fleece Johnson, aka the Booty Warrior, and was giggling at him calling him cute? Who keeping score on that? So a lot of men have become feminine, but he has a gay convict on his show telling him he cute. Boy. And if anybody, except if anybody lived that lifestyle, that's you. Has nothing to do with me. Will never have anything to do with me. But what I deal with on this channel a lot is double talk. This man is probably #1 top ranked double talker on YouTube.
It seemed like I'm gonna read super chats throughout the day. It's almost like they didn't have a father, or if they did, they had a very feminine father when they was growing up, or a father that wasn't a strong man. Sabrina, yes, I'm switching to Build the Biz. Well, I'll tell you about it in the Patreon. I'm gonna give a full update when I drop the updates with regard to the meetup. Shout out to you, Sabrina B. I'm telling you, it's like they didn't grow up but I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna give you the context, right? So y'all know we do Fight Club overnight on the weekend.
Wait, let's go there. He talked.
Where I was breaking down why women make less than men.
Hold on.
Women are just happy to be there.
Hold on. I think he got. I think he has timestamps on here. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where is it at? That. Trying to find something in particular. I think it's right here. Okay, let's see some.
Jesus. I got my own wife, I got my own daughter, I got my own money, and I got my own platform. Do something about it. Do something about it. I got my own church members. I got my own everything. I ain't never asked a nigga for nothing. Do something about it. The only thing I say is be willing to do something, be willing to take the repercussions that come along with it, because I'm not one to sit idly by. Just you got freedom to do whatever you want to do. You got freedom to do whatever you want to do. Just be willing to deal with whatever come along with it. That's all I'm saying. You have no control over me. Nobody can control me. Nobody can control me. I am my own entity. I am my own tank. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. And if I decide that that's what I want to do, it ain't nothing that you can do about it except try to stop me. Just be willing to get that dough banged on.
So he making threats. Man, you ain't gonna bang on nobody's door. And anybody that's stupid enough to come for you, come on, man. There's no way I'm gonna challenge people on YouTube, not knowing how people really get down out here, to bang on the door. Man, you know what? I ain't gonna even say nothing. I ain't gonna say nothing. But let me say this to all of you out there. Do not be the person who put yourself at risk for somebody else. Because some people, if you go to their door, they're going to kill you. Simple as that, especially if they know why you there. Like for instance, let's say somebody was beefing with Anton. And Anton doxed your house and sent them over there. And they was the type of person I'm talking about. And they comes and says something about Anton. Man, a lot of people will whack them off, man.
At all.
I'm not a person that's buying into this I got killer stuff. Because my thing is this. If you get me, you got me. But just like you can get me, I can get you. That's how it works. That's why it's pointless to try to settle your conflicts in the street with guns. Because it never ends. Like, it's you against those people. You whack this dude, Now, all of this dude, people is after you. Or you go after this dude, and this dude ain't what you think. So he been to whack one of your people. It never ends. That's why it's not worth it. Like, violence should be in self-defense. It should never be over something somebody say or disagree with. You would never see me getting violent with somebody over something that was said unless they overstepped their boundaries and like tried to come after me. But that's goofy. Like this is what I'm talking about. He said, can't nobody F with him spiritually. But he threatened Duke the Don. He threatened other people. Then I made videos about him. You see I'm still making video. And other people still making videos.
At all. Nobody cares about your feelings, they only care about the results.
I'm a single mom. I've had a lot of those imposter syndrome moments, but
What are we talking about? They can't even control whether or not they can even live in a place that they living in right now. They begging the government to forgive their student loans. They ain't got no power. They ain't got no power. They ain't got no power. You vote in the interest of somebody trying to forgive you for something that you did to yourself. You ain't got no power. You can't even control your own baby mama. You can't say nothing to me. You ain't got no power. You're crying on YouTube. And your baby mama just kicked you out the house, my nigga. You ain't got no power.
Why did he feel he had to use that word every second? That's how you know he reaching. Like he trying to. Let's keep going. Dude is a turd.
You have no control over your own well-being. You can't even get your own son on the weekends without the judge telling you what you should and shouldn't do. You ain't got no power. You can't even decide whether or not you can't even call off of work tomorrow, my nigga. You have zero.
You see this? Like I know hood dudes, ballers, goons. They do not use that N-word this much, man. I'm telling you, man. The ones I see, like every now and then, okay. Every other couple phrases second, you reaching. I see wannabes doing that. It's crazy, man.
Control over your own life. If I were you, I would spend more time focused on fixing me than trying to tell somebody else what to do. You have no control. You can't even control whether or not.
So in case y'all wondering what I'm looking for, is the stuff he was saying about reparations. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show what he says and what Pearlie says, and then I'm going to go to the videos, if he hasn't deleted them, where he was taken up for just Pearlie things. A white supremacist.
You can breathe.
I think it might be coming up.
If somebody decided that you can't breathe no more, that's it. You can't protect yourself. You can't protect your child. You can't control your baby mama. Your daddy don't like you. Your mama hates you. Your community abandoned you. You can't even control whether or not you don't know nothing. You don't have car insurance. You driving illegally. Your license is suspended. They got a warrant out for your arrest.
What was he talking about? That describes some white people coming to Milwaukee. I don't even know who he even talking about.
If we knew your real name right now, we could get you arrested and you wouldn't even have no control over your own freedom. You have no control. You have debt. It's people coming after you for your student loans. You asking Biden for forgiveness in the federal government. You can't even get your own woman in your own household to do what she's supposed to do because she out here fucking somebody else and you don't even know it? You don't even have enough money to be able to quit your job tomorrow, and you're sitting here telling me what it is that I'm supposed to do, and I'm rich as fuck.
Somebody must have said something to him. I don't know. I don't be in his chats like that.
Verified receipts inside of the Patreon. All of the white people that y'all afraid of, they're my tenants. Rita, all of my tenants, what color are they? What did they just do this morning? They just paid their rent. Let me show you. Let me show you. It's the 3rd of the month, and I got all of my rent payments ASAP. All of them. Had them in this morning. Venmos. Everybody paid through Venmo. They all paid their rent this morning. They all paid their rent this morning.
Look, a little off subject, man. Get your money. But just know that money doesn't make you nobody. You make the money. It don't make you a somebody. A lot of the worst people in the history of man, sexual deviants, all type of stuff, serial K-Eilers, are wealthy. Remember Jack the Ripper? Y'all know about Jack the Ripper, right? Okay, I'll keep going.
They all paid their rent this morning. Let me cover her name up.
Wasn't nothing even on
Shout
that.
out to my good white people. Shout out to my good white folks that's paying their rent on time. You know, white people, they pay
Wait a minute.
rent on time. I'm telling you. White people pay their rent on time. All of them pay.
Wait, hold on. But y'all see the title, right? Okay, maybe this was the one. He says this all the time.
What's going on? It's Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Another day, another opportunity to do great things. I had a phenomenal live stream / webinar last night for the Bag Chasers. We talked about and I broke down everything with relation to how much money I make. I showed them my back end, I showed them my numbers, I showed them my payments, I showed them my bank accounts. So if you want to tap into that and you want to get some insight information on how it is that you can leverage social media in order to really get to the bag, because I make over 6 figures a month, and that's a fact. Receipts is in the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. But that's not the thing that I'm really wanting to have a conversation with you guys about. I really want to talk to you guys about this whole conversation that just does not seem to go away, and it's related to and tied to reparations. We've been having a conversation on the Millionaire Morning Show as far as different people wanting to pay them up. On the weekends and on Fridays, what I usually do is I open up the panel on the Millionaire Morning Show for people to come up and discuss whatever it is that they want to discuss.
Fair use.
And most of the time, 9 times out of 10, people are looking to hold me accountable for what my thoughts are on reparations. So let me give you a little bit of insight. For those of you that are out of the loop or do not follow the Millionaire Morning Show, make sure you do so. That link is in the description. Reparations, from my perspective, is a bunch of people that's waiting or begging for the winners to come back and give them something. Now, we can make the discussion or we can make the argument about who it is that's responsible and the laws and how things have changed and been revised based off of what the government is doing. And you can also tap into when you can start having conversations about who came before you, and did the Jewish people get reparations, and did Japanese get reparations, and did the Indians get
Pay attention, y'all.
reparations, and all of this different stuff, right? But the reality is that if you do get something for free, cool. And a lot of people are even triggered by those words. They say, well, it's not free, it's old. Prove it, right? The problem with this argument is that I'm not waiting on anybody to do anything for me.
This is not the issue. The issue is our people were natives. How do you give certain tribes out of the natives reparations, but not other tribes? See, it was a clever scheme. W.E.B. Du Bois was involved as well. And we all know that he talked about the talented tenth, where they kind of came up with this thing about the slaves being brought from Africa. Some of them were, but not as many as they say. A lot of the people that were enslaved were already here out of our ancestors. So how could you be against reparations for us being the descendants of some of those natives, but be in favor of the more fair-skinned natives who came from tribes that were in peace accord with the tribes that we come from?
In order for me to make sure that my family is taken care of. I'm not waiting for anybody to do anything for me in order to ensure that
Neither am I. That's not the point, though.
I am taken care of. I don't believe that anybody owes anything to anybody that is still alive today, right? You can't benefit off of what happened historically outside of what it is that you do today as far as leapfrogging off of the opportunities that they've given you thus.
Somebody take this man to the library. Somebody take him to the library. One of you fanboys, take him to the library. And then, when you pick him up, go pick up the angry truth after that. And take both of them to the library to learn why we should be getting reparations. It was promised.
Right? I believe that we live in the best country in the world. I believe, based off of my recent international travels and traveling to different states and stuff, the worst hoods over here is 10 times better than some of the environments that a lot of these people are raised in across the board. I think that people see that overseas.
That don't have anything to do with it.
And then what happens is when they get over into this country, they weren't entitled. They don't have this privileged mentality, and they work their ass off. And so as a result, they continue to beat you. I don't believe that reparations is going to be given to anybody. I think that the reparations has already been distributed in the form of these social programs and welfare and,
I've never seen a welfare program that's 2.2 million in cash. Because that's what it is with interest.
All of these different stupid programs that's being funded because y'all continue to vote the wrong people in office, as far as this Democratic Party that continues to keep you tied to it based off of their promises to give you something for free.
And for the record, I'm not a Democrat.
You want free education. You want free health care. Everybody wants something for free. You want free water. It costs to produce all of these different things. And more importantly, I don't think that the United States of America has it to give you. And I don't think you care about that either way. I think that the thing that means the most to people is getting what it is that they feel would put them in a position of power. And I don't even think that most people even understand what money means. I don't think they understand what it takes in order to be successful. I strongly believe that in 10 years, if you was to throw this country completely under the bus, even though they already,
This talent intent stuff too. Show me one person that you know or anywhere that says they're a talented tenth, that has a strong liking for the masses of us blacks, or does anything significant that benefits us black. Show me one. Go in the comments, name somebody.
Trillions and tens of trillions of dollars in debt. The Chinese owe, we owe the Chinese so much money, and then you run up inflation times a gajillion just so you can be able to give black people a bunch of money. I think that in 10 years, what you'll start to see is that the money will then start to be separated, and it'll go back to the people that's actually rich, the people that have a mentality to really get rich, versus, the people that have this poor mindset and poor mentality. I think that winners are the ones that...
Are you dreaming of more freedom, more dough to thrive, and financial options to keep your dreams alive?
The right history. Winners are the ones that determine what happens to the losers. And largely, there's been historically a lot of people that lost. Now, what the winners decide to do with the losers, as far as who it is that they took over, now let's be clear. Black people, from my perspective, based off of what happened historically as far as the slave trade, because black people own slaves too. Owning slaves was a rich man's game. It wasn't just entirely based off of the color of your skin.
That's true. Black people did own slaves. But some of those people that owned slaves, y'all know they tried to enslave them too, right? I ain't gonna even tell you the story. Go read it for yourself.
And was there discrimination? Yeah, all of that other type of stuff. But the reality is that the savagery in which Europeans or people that came over into the United States of America, and they took over that, right? The savagery that happened was no different than the savagery that you've seen being instituted in Africa prior to Europeans then getting into bed with Africans in order to be able to have the slave trade in the first place, right? They didn't come over and start capturing Africans. That was the thing that was already being had or happening, and the warring over in that country was already being instituted by people that was already over there. And then black people participated in the trade, and they got the bad end of the stick. So that just shows that black people back then were bad capitalists. They were bad capitalists. So,
hold on. Watch. Let me show you. When you against reparations, let me show you something. The excuse they use is people waiting. Wait, hold on. Let me show you who you agreeing with. Look. All these videos. Look. Came in here and divided the manosphere. On one end, it was me, Jap, Playback, Abba and Preach, Black Ram, a whole bunch of us, Duke the Don. And on the other end was Obsidian, Anton Daniels, Angry Man, Donovan Sharp, the lead attorney. These is all dudes that was taken up for. Bernard Riley was taken up for. Not as much as the rest. He was trying to be sneaky with his. So I start calling them the Sambo clique. If you go back in my videos, that's why I was calling them that. me show you something. Remember Fire Marshal Bill? Let me show you something. I'm gonna show y'all who y'all taking up for. We can count you out. You ain't in it. You ain't in the game. Kev Rowe, a lot of people was making.
Release that thought of like, this is going to be hard for us. We can't do this. And they stay there. And so I would agree, obviously I would agree with that quote, like there are things that just happen in the world that you can't control. It's just up.
They done deleted a lot of.
We always find a way back home.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters.
You see how many people made videos about this?
The problem with reparations is what percentage of white people do you think actually owned slaves?
I don't know.
It's less than 1%.
Really?
Yeah. And the other problem is money doesn't solve poverty. If money solved poverty, then like.
Okay, so this is who he agreeing with. So, do we not have the 1% and the 99%? Who controls most of the wealth? The 1%, right? So she's being disingenuous by saying that less than 1% of whites own slaves. Actually, it's more than that. Because if you look back into the families who own slaves, those are the same families who are the wealthiest families today. See, y'all don't do research. We're going to do a short part 2 to this. Y'all don't do research. And that's why y'all don't be knowing these things. When you take up for Anton, you taking up for just pearly things. And then you agreeing with her. We'll be back.